evening, everyone. This is Tala with Drive-thru Therapy. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight on another episode. And as always, I'm grateful for your support. And thank you guys so much for all the contributions you make. Regarding your emails, please keep sending them. I am looking for the next topic. And I really want you guys to get bold. And just send really bold topics. There's no topic that is risky for me. The topics I really don't understand are probably political ones or anything like that. I'm very neutral, as you can probably already tell if you've been listening to me for a while. But even then, there's a spiritual aspect or a psychological aspect to politics. They mean something. So if you do have a question about anything, if you have a suggestion about anything really, just send it right over. You can email it at TALAIBRA8888@gmail.com, and I would be more than happy to include it in one of the next episodes. So yeah, that's all I got there. It's a beautiful night tonight, I gotta say. October in this side of the States is not too cold, not too chilly, just nice, a little windy where I'm at. But I love the winds at night. It's not too windy tonight, so I think it's perfect for recording because you won't hear it in the background smashing back and forth. But, I mean, the night is still young, friends. We're still recording. So I have my Topo Chico with me here with a twist of lime. And I got my candles lit up. I'm ready. I'm in the zone. But then I was sitting here and I was thinking about, what do I talk about tonight? For the past couple of days, I've been playing this game on and off, like an Xbox game. Yeah. It's not like me. I'm not usually into games, and I don't get into them, besides the Super Mario Brothers. Because of probably a nostalgic reason, I don't really go to too many other games or anything. I'm not really attracted to them. But this one in particular, I was one night cleaning up some of the downloads my son was making on the Xbox just to clean it up, and I came across this game, and he downloaded by accident because it was not for his age. I don't think it was. He needed to be a little bit older, but it was called The Gardens in Between, and it's a great game. This game is pretty interesting, you guys. Pretty interesting. It doesn't follow the rules that other games usually follow. The character can pick up something when you move and pick up something. You press a button to pick up something, or you can climb up a ladder, jump on a mushroom. You can walk a certain path, all of which they make sense, right? To the story, that this character has this ability to manifest these movements within the storyline or the game. We like this. This is a common thing for us to enjoy. It's satisfactory in some way to be able to walk where we say we want to walk when we're using our remote control or the controller. When we want to move to the right, we move to the right. We want to move to the left, we move to the left. Seems pretty good, right? But this game is not like that at all. It is going forward or going backwards. There's two characters in there, and their positioning is different every time, but those two characters get to go into small little nostalgic worlds and solve a puzzle. But the puzzle in itself is pretty interesting. It's kind of like a little island that the two people are on, and they get to walk on the island. But as they're walking on it, they can go forward or they can go backward. But if they go forward, events start to occur. It could be raining, so the raindrops would fall precisely at the same time every time they move in that area forward. If they go backwards, then of course the raindrop will move upwards, and then the prior movements or events that had taken place when they were walking backwards are taking place again. So I hope I'm making it clear about what this game is about. It's going forward or going back, and it's the same activity that's supposed to happen in that moment. So of course my brain is looking at this, is like, what the hell? I can't move my character anywhere. Like, I could have an idea of how to solve this problem right away and it'd be easy, but it's not within our character's ability. You can only move forward or backwards. And if you move backwards, it is to connect the dots, to put things together. If you're moving forward, it is to basically solve the problem exactly where you're at. You're going to use the information in your little world. You're going to use all the information that's being presented at this time. So if there's a raindrop falling, it has a purpose. If there's a light that's shining, it has a purpose. If there is some smoke that pops up, it's for everything there as you are walking, and actually wherever you're standing has a clue about the solution to this game. It is very restricted, but at the same time, it's so satisfying is the best way to say that. But also, it's mind-blowing. Everywhere in this game, wherever you're moving, means something. And my job is to connect the pieces together, to look at all the details as they are falling, dropping, whatever, or they're getting back up, whatever it is that they're doing at this moment is supposed to be there. I cannot say nothing about a raindrop falling or not falling. I can either move backwards or forward, and it will all mean something. I mean, you're like wondering, why the hell is Tal talking about a game for the past 7 minutes? Why is she talking about a game? Well, friends, as I was playing this game, it hit me that after my resistance to what I wanted to do to solve the problems in here, I wanted my character to move, and I was in resistance, like, what is this? And I'm playing this, and I'm kind of getting fussy. I'm like, you can't even move anywhere. Like, what's the point of this? And I was mentally talking myself, like, I was resisting the facts here that you can only go forward or you can go backwards. I wanted it my way. But interestingly enough, when I started to accept where I'm at and accept that the solution is right where I'm at, that's when I started to solve this puzzle. That's when it started to connect for me. It was where I'm standing right there, accepting that the answer is exactly where I'm standing. It's not how things should be or where they could have been or how they were in the past. It's not what they used to be. It's not what they're gonna be. It's right where I'm standing. I hold a big key to my happiness, to my problem solving, to my peace of mind. Whatever answer you would like, you hold the key right in the moment you're standing in. My mind is blown, friends. My mind is blown. This was all in a game. Now, mind you, I was not taking any illicit drugs or ones that are legal for that matter. I don't drink and I don't do anything. But this game makes you feel like you're high. Just exactly what it feels like. What's really interesting too is that it applies to life quite a bit. We want our character in real life to move. We put so much value on us being able to be mobile enough to move from one space to another, to pick up an item quickly when we want to pick it up. We look at it, we pick it up, we manifest it. Or we think about it and we manifest it, which is a great thing to have. Sometimes we can believe that that's our whole world. We panic if we're in a situation perhaps where we have no control. So our sense of control becomes challenged quite a bit often and we resist it. For example, situations occur. People might leave or stay. Any of these situations could occur and I have absolutely no control over it. But my mind, because of the many situations that have been reinforcing that made me believe that I can have control over my world, just as simple as picking up a mug of coffee, could imply in my head that I can make things happen, like stop people from leaving, making people love us. It can make us believe that we can even stop them from dying. We could stop a job from firing us. We could stop any accidents from happening. I mean, we have gone so far in our own world in thinking that we can control it because we are able to do some things. So what I like about this game is it just reminds me as a human being that yes, I can move. Yes, I can pick up items, but I'm only a small part of a bigger picture. I am not the whole picture. And to believe that will help me deal with any circumstances that arise with more flow. I won't resist too long or as much because I've accepted that it is out of my control. I'm only a small dot in a whole picture of things. And that's what that game is like. It's like you're standing right there and you have to look all around you. I mean, all around you, and every detail counts. And you realize how small you are in the schema of things, in the schema of the world, the universe, and everything that's happening in it. It almost feels good to say that, because where I used to glorify all the things that I could do and accomplish, I really take probably a lot more satisfaction in knowing that I'm only a small part of a larger picture, and that I don't have to think about every detail and know every detail and manipulate every detail in my life to make things happen. It is kind of satisfactory and peaceful to know that it is all doing something, even though I'm not manipulating or controlling it. It's doing what it's exactly supposed to do. So I might look at it directly and say, oh, this thing shouldn't happen. It's bad. Why do people do this? I could say those things, but there's a part of me, a large part of me today, because I've worked on this acceptance consistently and I continue to do that. I'm not exempt from it. But accepting that these things do happen, and there is no prediction for most of those things that do occur. But even more so, to accept that they are part of a larger picture, that things happen as they happen because they are consequences of people's actions, that they mean something, they play a part in some way that I do not know and is not being revealed to me at this time. For example, I was watching a documentary, and it was called The American Murders, and it was about a woman and her 2 children. She was pregnant, who was killed by her husband. And I mean, watching this documentary, just my stomach got ill. But looking at the situation, I could sit as an audience and observe this and think, how does this man get away with doing that? He's like, the things that should have happened, people that should have caught it, things that should have been obvious, all of this nonsense crossed my mind as I was watching this. But eventually, all of it, I accept. It happened the way it happened. It's irrelevant how things should have happened. And obviously, we know how they could have happened or should have happened, but they did not happen. So I don't spend too much time on the other stuff. I don't resist it anymore. I see it as is. It did happen. And this resistance helps us see with clarity, helps us see what the next move is. I don't know how situations that appear gruesome like this could apply to the big picture, but they certainly do. They're there. To say that these incidences and these catastrophes don't happen would be, I'm delusional and in denial. But I like to think I'm not, and that these things do happen. But I can't negotiate them. I don't see all sides, and I don't see that I know the whole truth and everything that occurred in that situation, and what it was meant to play, or the role it was meant to play. I don't often think as death as a punishment. It is not a punishment. I've never read one book that said your death is a punishment of any kind. I've never read a biblical one or anything of that. Is that a death is a form of punishment? It is not. We know that intuitively. We know that people do die. It is part of our lifespan. But it is not a punishment. Yes, the way that we can die could be gruesome and very painful. But again, death in itself is part of our lifespan. It cannot be a punishment because it has to happen, right? We grow, we age, and if we get to live long enough, we'll die at an old age. But if we don't, then we'll die for other factors, other reasons. And so we don't know how that plays out. We don't know how it affects the picture. Somebody's loss could be very much important rather than just resisting that a person shouldn't have died and they were too young, and all the things that we say when somebody dies. Instead of resisting all that and negotiating and bargaining with the truth, accepting what is truthful helps us look at the other details, helps us accept the role of this loss in our life, seek to understand how we respond to it and what it's meant for our life. It's not a punishment, friends. It is not supposed to deteriorate us, but we do resist. We do resist as humans, and it's a common human thing to do. I think sure as fuck I will resist in experiencing loss, but in understanding that we can't resist too long. We accept that the puzzles, even though I don't see them now, will all connect. It'll all make sense. Trusting that it will all make sense is the point. Will make things flow a lot better. What is not being revealed to you is just as important and very, very crucial as the things that are revealed to you. But what is not revealed to you, we have to humble ourselves in understanding that with this one here, we cannot manipulate. We cannot keep researching and thinking that we're that good, that Google, if we just Google anything, we can know about it. The truth is we can know a perception of a truth, but it's not the truth, friends. I'm the one looking something up. I will find exactly what I'm looking for. Again, just because I can pick up a bottle, drink from it, does not mean that I can control everything. I can manipulate objects. I can even manipulate certain things on my body and maybe externally of me, but in no way I'm going to go beyond thinking that I can manipulate the future. I can manipulate people's responses. That's just suffering for us. Those are what we call disorders. And in us crossing those lines every day, that's where the suffering comes in, friends. To live without this suffering, or to ease ourselves from this suffering, would really be all about acceptance. Acceptance of what is. I move forward. I look at the detail and I understand and just know that they all fit in. I know that they all fit in, even if I don't see it. I trust that they do. We have this element. We need this element in our psyche, because if we don't have it, we will spend nights and days obsessing about the unknown, obsessing about every little detail and think it is important. But we don't understand that we're hyper-focusing on this detail because it's a biased perspective. It's not the truth. It's what I want it to be. It's what I want the truth to be when I'm focusing on something. I don't step back and see the picture without resistance. I resist. I have opinions and shit. And that's the problem. That's a big problem. Yeah. This video game just blew my mind, you guys. It is called The Gardens in Between. It's really just, it's beautiful. I can feel the relief of it just from the inside, is accepting that I don't need to look too far. Everything that I need, every answer I've ever wanted starts right now. Not when something happens or when things happen or blah, blah, blah. None of this is true. It starts where I'm standing. So if you ever have a question in mind and you're sitting there wishing and hoping for things to happen, you don't have to. Wherever you're standing at right now is every answer you've ever needed, is everything you've ever wanted. If you can let go of what your perceptions are, your beliefs are, if you suspend those beliefs that you've been reinforcing for many years, you will see things with clarity. You will know the truth that you lack nothing. Nothing at all. It is when your mind goes everywhere else, how things need to be, how things should have been, how the dots should connect this way. But if you just trust in all that, it'll connect itself with your non-resistance to whatever you're looking at. Non-judgment, you will see what you need to see. Really will. It's so simple that we just can't be satisfied in its simplicity. That's our ego talking. Yeah, that's all I got on this one. I hope this was helpful. It certainly was helpful just to get out how I've been feeling these past couple of days playing this video game. I'd like to think that it was an accident that my son downloaded it and that I just all of a sudden had to play it. Oh no, there was no accident there. It was all of it supposed to be here so I can tell you all about it. And hopefully this can be help to someone. I love you guys. And as always, I send you love and light and the path of least resistance. This has been an episode of Drive-thru.